And as we head into the final month of the 2024 campaign, the race for the White House is still effectively a coin toss, razor thin here, making tomorrow's vice presidential debate a high-stakes affair. In fact, some historians are already calling tomorrow's one-on-one between Democrat Tim Walz and Republican J.D. Vance the most important vice presidential debate in United States history. Let's bring in Republican debate coach Brett O'Donnell for more here. Brett, happy Monday morning to you. Are you agreeing with those historians? I mean, if we're not expecting another debate from Harris and Trump, does it make tomorrow's VP debate way more significant?
Well, I think it's somewhat more significant, but, you know, the history of vice presidential debates is rather recent. There haven't been that many. And I don't think you'd be hard pressed to name a single one that actually people can point to and say that impacted the outcome of the race. There's really three rules for vice presidential debates. One, you have to pass the commander-in-chief test. Can you assume the presidency if something were to happen to your running mate, the top of the ticket? Second, do no harm, right? The most important thing is don't do any harm and make news in a negative way in your debate. And then finally, be a good surrogate. Be a good surrogate for the top of the ticket. Argue why your running mate would make the best president. Those are the three rules. And as long as you don't do something catastrophic, the vice presidential debate should have minor impact on the race.
Yeah, we'll see how well both candidates do at avoiding some unforced errors. You know, Brett, polling indicates that former president could really use a strong night from Senator Vance, but a recent AP poll found 42% of voters have a favorable view of Walz versus 27% for Vance. If you were coaching Vance ahead of the debate, what would be your strategy to move the needle for him and Trump?
Well, I think, again, the most important thing for both of these guys is no one knows them. No one really knows J.D. Vance or Tim Walz because they've only had a couple of months to get to know them. And so they've only had access to them through sound bites of various appearances. So I think the biggest thing is for folks to get to know them, to be comfortable with them as their the running mate for the ticket. So I think J.D. Vance's biggest challenge is for folks to get to know him, to understand who he is, to understand how he would support President Trump, and then for folks to see him prosecute the case against Kamala Harris. Yeah. That's the most important thing that can help energize the base, and can make sure folks know that should he have to step in, he could do so competently.
Yeah, I know both of these candidates expected to tout being from the Midwest and kind of appeal to folks from the heartland. I wanted to play a bit of sound for you, Brett, because during a Las Vegas rally on Sunday, Vice President Harris called out President Trump for refusing a second presidential debate. Take a listen.
Their debate should not be the last word. I'm trying to debate Donald Trump again, and I think he should debate again. The American people have a right to hear us discuss the issues. And as you say here in Las Vegas, I'm all in. I'm all in. Even if my opponent is ready to fold.
Brett, do you agree with her? Should there be a second presidential debate?
Well, look, as a Republican debate coach, I think political debates are great. It's what I study. But, you know, there's a rule in politics that if you're losing, call for a debate. And so I just happen to wonder if Kamala Harris has seen the latest polls and believes that she's behind and needs an additional debate. I think a debate late in the cycle isn't a good thing for either candidate. And I think that there's been two debates, right? President Trump debated Joe Biden, and then he debated Kamala Harris. He asked for a debate on Fox News in September, and she declined that debate. So, you know, I look at that more as a political stunt than as someone who is trying to rescue democracy.
Well, we'll see what tomorrow night and the next 36 days have in store. Brett O'Donnell, I'll be talking to you again soon. Thank you so much, as always.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.